Hi, this is Barry Haimo. Thanks for stopping by for another dose of bite-sized bits of knowledge, where we give you meaningful information in a short amount of time. Today I want to talk at a high level about what I like to call a laundry list of problems we solve. When people think of estate planning, of course they think about a will. But let's talk about really what it is and who it applies to. For people who have substantial wealth, we're talking about tax planning, estate tax, gift tax, generation skipping transfer taxes. Right now the threshold is very high. It's 11.5 million or so per spouse. It's not affecting very many people. But what is affecting nearly everybody is income tax. Income tax is a very real thing to talk about. We're going to talk about it more later in estate planning, especially if you care about your family. Moving forward, we have families that have blended families. We have spouses and partners with children from different partners, different spouses, subsequent spouses. These people are not treated as family under the law. Again, going back to my initial video, either you decide or the court will decide for you based on the statute. The statute is unforgiving. It doesn't care that you've kind of informally adopted your spouse's child. They're going to be cut out, and basically what you're doing is you're rolling the dice. So if one spouse passes away before the other, it's a very different result. So in addition to taxes and blended families, now we can talk about special needs children. It is disastrous for special needs children to inherit money, because that money under the government rules must be used first to pay for all their needs, instead of not getting the money and doing it the right way and using that money to supplement their life in addition to the federal benefits that they're getting. It's quite a distinction. Similarly, there's beneficiaries who have substance abuse issues. They're suffering from some sort of substance abuse or other compulsive problem. It makes them unreliable to manage any assets. It makes them dangerous to themselves and others to have assets. Again, you decide, or the state decides for you, do you want these types of people to have that kind of money or wealth? However you define wealth. Do you want them to have it? Do you want them to have your hard-earned assets? The same can apply to beneficiaries that are just financially irresponsible. They're not financially intelligent. They're wasteful. Do you want them to inherit those assets? Maybe, maybe not. At least you need to know about it to make an informed decision. There's also beneficiaries who are maybe haven't proven to choose romantic partners wisely. Maybe they're in rocky marriages. Maybe you just don't trust their decision making. Those are people that you may want to consider doing some planning to protect from both themselves as well as their creditors and their spouses. There's asset protection concerns that you may want to think about including in your estate planning. Do you want to protect your beneficiaries' interests from themselves and others? There are so many things that we do in terms of avoiding the blow up of what can happen with an estate, like probate or guardianship. So guardianship happens during life. We'll talk about it later. Probate happens after you pass away. Same kind of court, but different concept. They're courts that take a long time, a lot of money, and really unpredictable venues that you want to avoid. It's a common reason people plan. I would say another reason is the people plan would be when young families have a new baby. They want to do the guardianship. God forbid something happens to them, who's going to take care of the baby? They want to control that. That's a big driver of estate planning. So when you zoom out and you look at all these different moving parts, you have probate, guardianship avoidance, tax planning, special needs, substance abuse, blended families, beneficiaries who are irresponsible, beneficiaries who have just partners that you don't trust and like and don't want to benefit from them. And I would say one more thing. We could talk about subsequent partners and spouses. You know, when you yourself, one of you pass away and your surviving spouse, gets involved with someone else, you want to make sure that your assets go to your family and not theirs. That's discussed in more detail in a later video. So, zooming out, there's a ton of things that we do to help people And it's not just even about all that stuff. I mean, I'll add one more thing. You know, just dealing with complicated family dynamics is a big driver for estate planning. So all these things combined, that's what we help solve at a high level. We're gonna talk more about it later. I'm really excited. So please stay tuned, and thanks for stopping by. Stay tuned for more.